Vladimir Putin, the Russian strongman who regrettably decided to invade a sovereign, loving and peaceful Ukraine, will soon have no way back but to unleash nuclear weapons on Ukraine, a leading Russian TV war reporter has claimed. Alexander Sladkov advocated that dropping an atomic bomb to cause a crater the size of several regions is a demonstrative way to intimidate NATO. Russia has claimed the goal of its military campaign in Ukraine is to liberate it from the control of supposed neo-Nazis, despite Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky being Jewish and a far-right politicians in his country. But Sladkov, a war reporter and propagandist, told his 730,000 followers the time may be approaching for the last resort due to some 40 countries arming Ukraine with light and heavy weapons which are being used against the Russians. The Russian president placed Russian nuclear forces on high alert shortly after its invasion of Ukraine began February 24. Though the US says it has seen no sign that Putin is preparing to actually use the weapons. As the Western support to Ukraine increases, Putin has made thinly veiled threats hinting at a willingness to deploy Russia's tactical nuclear weapons, which Russian military doctrine holds can be used to force an adversary to retreat. There is more and more talk about nuclear weapons, and Russia has much to say about it, Sladkov posted. We have a solution for Ukraine. There are several, yet we are getting reminded about the last resort, nuclear weapons. If no one is going to hear us, and these countries keep helping the Ukrainian neo-Nazis, we will have no way back. The Azovstal steel plant, which Russian forces are struggling to capture, is a vast complex, almost 4 square miles of warehouses and factory buildings, undercut by bunkers and tunnels designed to withstand a nuclear strike, and capturing it is likely to involve a long, bloody, and costly fight which is currently ongoing as we speak. Civilians fled to the complex for safety as Russia surrounded and began bombarding Mariupol in the early days of the war, but found themselves trapped as Putin's men captured the wider city. Ukrainian defenders were eventually pushed back into the complex as well, where they are now staging their last stand. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky appealed to the head of the UN to help save the lives of the remaining wounded Ukrainians under siege at the Azovstal steel plant. The lives of the people who remain there are in danger. Everyone is important to us. We ask for your help in saving them, Zelensky told UN Chief Antonio Guterres by phone after thanking him for successful evacuations earlier this week led by the UN and Red Cross. He called on the UN to assist in the removal of all the wounded from Azovstal, civilians and soldiers alike. It is unclear exactly how many people are still inside the Azovstal plant. Ukraine says hundreds of civilians are trapped, while Russia says the number of Ukrainian soldiers inside could be up to 2,000. What we know, as of now, is that Russia has declared a 3-day ceasefire to run from the 5, 6, and 7 of May in preparation for May 9 Victory Day. As quickly as Putin declared the ceasefire, he violated it. Once again, diplomacy has prevailed, and more civilians are currently being evacuated from Mariupol, Antonio Guterres briefs the UN Council and refused to give further details. Kyiv said today that Moscow could be planning to hold a parade inside Mariupol itself in an attempt to claim some semblance of victory after more than 2 months of fighting. Kyiv said an official from Russia's presidential administration had arrived in the port city, which has been largely destroyed in Russia's more than 2-month invasion of Ukraine, to oversee plans for the Victory Day parade. Mariupol will become a center of celebration, Ukraine's military intelligence said in a statement on social media. The central streets of the city are urgently being cleaned of debris, bodies and unexploded ordnance. A large-scale propaganda campaign is underway. Russians will be shown stories about the joy of locals on meeting the occupiers, it said. Mariupol Mayor Vadim Bichenko later told Ukrainian television there were ongoing works in the city, as if the Russians were preparing for something. They are removing signs of the crimes they have committed, he said. One such crime scene exists on the site of the Mariupol Theater, a building with bomb shelters underneath that was being used to house hundreds of civilians when it was struck by a Russian bomb. For key moments about Ukraine war, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks.